we have our creatives with us from moment dot as we begin creating a show. I usually do a first draft of a script that's very loose, and then we share it with our creatives to get feedback how they think potentially we could bring it to life in a theatre space. And then we very quickly move into creative developments where they test the various technologies that they think they might use. That then flows back to me to change the script or to edit the script to fit with what we've all found together. And so it's this constant backwards and forwards between a group of us working in almost a lab-like setting to test content, to just make sure that the various elements are becoming amazing in their own right, but that they're telling the same story. This is our second creative development. So the script was actually written before our first creative development as draft, and then it went off to our dramaturg, Louise Goff, for feedback. But in the meantime, we've also done these two creative developments to look at how the technology will work in the piece. And the things that we've taken away from that in these 2 weeks will then go into sort of formalising what that second draft of the script looks like.
In the context of this show, miniatures can be locations, they're miniature sets, they're also models, so maybe they're a miniature spaceship. The importance of them in the role of telling the story is that we can actually put the actor in a space and bring a huge spaceship in alongside them, which enables us to tell a really expansive story in a really small physical space.
Projection design is sort of the video rendering of everything that you see back there, but because we're doing so much live capture in this show, the system build of how those cameras interface with the computers, what effects that we need to have with those, how we're controlling those cameras, because they're not actually in the real production going to be controlled by humans, how that system all gets put together and is controllable from essentially the stage manager's position.
The kinds of resources that I like to use for inspiration are often from the natural world. I look outside and see what trees are doing, what fungi is doing, what kinds of solutions nature uses in design itself. I'm looking at influences that have basically shaped the direction of the production. So in this case, it's a novel, Moby Dick, and also it's a setting, which is space.
This show is very special in that every single design element really ties together quite heavily. During rehearsals, we'll have ideas that you didn't think of because they think in a completely different way, and then you adapt to that.
The technical aspects of the show really affect the design. In fact, they cannot exist without each other. So I am constantly liaising and working together with lighting and sound and vision, and particularly with vision in this instance, because our two worlds have to speak to each other. They can't be speaking a different language because the characters have to exist on stage but in front of a model that maybe I've built that then is projected digitally, but also exists in the space. So there's all this layering that needs to happen, and it's all integrated. It's not possible for us to do our jobs without each other.
The main reason that we are still doing theatre is because of the collaborative process, working with other people to realise a shared vision and working out how our strengths can hook together to create something that's bigger than the sum of its parts is absolutely the driving force behind all our work as a company. It's these weeks where we get to come together to build something in a room, breathing the same air instead of over email is like the best bit.
To bring something that never existed before into reality with a whole group of people eventually leads to this incredible thing that nobody knew how it could possibly turn out. But with the power of everybody's minds in there, you get this incredible result that's rich and textured, and that's the best thing about collaboration, I think.
Now that we're wrapping up this technical development, we've got a heap of different information that we've got to sort of process through. The main thing that's come out of this week is us determining the scales of the projection screen we're using, and also some of the camera technology that we're going to be using to capture the information from the miniatures. It's a lot of fun when we're playing with it live in the space with cardboard, but now it becomes a numbers game in terms of working out exactly what numbers of locations we've got to build, what scale they'll be, and exactly how the camera's going to catch that. So the thing that we're going to be doing immediately after this is the design of those physical entities and dropping them into 3D models to make sure they're going to work for the cameras that the production will have. I'll be updating the script, and then middle of the year we'll hit another development very similar to this, where we just sort of take those extra things that we've learned and built on and we fold them again into another round of testing to prepare them for rehearsals in August.
At the end of this process, I'm feeling really excited about the possibilities of this project.